Well, a busy weekend over the weekend for both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Not for them specifically, but for their surrogates to explain their position.
That's exactly right. Donald Trump is ready to reveal his immigration plan in a major speech this week.
But the mainstream media is still attacking him with racist accusations.
All right, Fox News senior national correspondent John Roberts is live outside Trump Tower. Hey, John.
Brian, Ainsley Pete, good morning. To tell you, nothing wakes you up like a military band. I was feeling a little sleepy until about a minute ago. Thanks very much for that. Really appreciate it. Big week for Donald Trump. He's got a couple of major appearances coming up. First of all, Wednesday in Arizona, a big speech on illegal immigration. This was the speech that they were going to consider giving last week in Colorado, postponed now until Wednesday of this week. He'll add a little more level of detail and clarity to some of the trial balloons that the campaign has been floating over the last couple of weeks about changing the policy ever so slightly when it comes to people who are in this country illegally already. You know, remember back in November, Donald Trump talked about creating a deportation force that would kick the millions and millions of people who entered the country illegally out. Well, Kellyanne Conway yesterday, talking with Chris Wallace rather, on Fox News Sunday, said this idea of softening is more an idea of approach rather than policy. Here she is.
What he has said is no legalization and no amnesty. If you'll go back to your home country, and if you'd like to come back into the United States as an immigrant, you need to apply through the many different channels that allow people to apply for citizenship or entry into the United States legally. Now, the deportation force, I would like to address that. He hasn't mentioned that since last November.
Another big appearance coming up for Donald Trump next Saturday. This will be at the Great Faith Ministries in Detroit, Michigan, at which he will take questions about issues that are important to the black community. More of the outreach toward African-American and other minority communities. Now, over the weekend, Donald Trump really kind of took it on the chin with some criticism about a tweet he sent out after the murder in Chicago of Dwayne Wade's cousin, saying as a result of that, African-Americans are going to vote for Trump. Here's what his running mate Mike Pence had to say about that yesterday.
Donald Trump is laying out in that tweet in short form, and there's, 140 characters, that we have a choice to make as a country. We can continue with the leadership that has left us with dangerous streets in our cities, failing schools, no jobs, or we can go with someone who is committed to educational choice for minority families.
Now, one more challenge that Donald Trump is laying down this morning, challenging Hillary Clinton to release detailed medical records, saying he will do the same thing if she does. And Brian, Ainsley, and Pete, I guess I'm belying the fact that I actually am still a little asleep because I called Chris Wallace Mike. Fire up the band again, would you?
It's common. One of the most famous newscasting duos in the history of the country. It's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, and I don't think Chris would be too upset to be compared to his dad.
Yeah.
Great man.
All right, John.
Thanks, John.
All right. Well, listen, over the weekend, I was pretty amazed when you have the horrible shooting of Dwayne Wade's cousin, right?
In Chicago.
She's willing. She just happened to be the wrong place at the wrong time.
She was pushing a stroller. I mean, it's
horrible.
Terrible.
But the thing is, maybe it wasn't the most politically correct tweet. Obviously, maybe he could have added a few characters in.
Well, it's only 140 characters. So then in the next tweet, he did offer condolences.
Yeah, that's exactly. And so I'm like, are we missing the point that this woman was gunned down in the exact area that he believes it should be addressed? It's the black-on-black crime that's taking place in Chicago.
And of course, so the left piled on, including the DNC interim chairwoman, Donna Brazile. This is what she had to say.
As I've watched this debate, this conversation about bigotry, about racism, I find it all misplaced. First of all, Donald Trump has not held an event in the black community. He has not gone to a black church, as Hillary Clinton has done. He's not gone to a historical black college, as Hillary Clinton. He's not met with the mothers of children who have been slain and killed from violence in this country, as Hillary Clinton has done.
You know, he's done a lot, though. He had that roundtable discussion over the weekend with African-American leaders, or at the tail end of last week. I can't remember the day exactly. But they were talking about what needs to be changed in the African-American community. So they're all going into churches and going to black communities. He's also going with Ben Carson to Detroit. Ben Carson is from Detroit. They're going to be meeting with African-American communities to find out what they can do to change that
There's
city.
also the point that Pence made very well, that substance matters a lot more than form or tone or tweets. Like, What are your policies and how do they
Right.
uplift people? That's the argument that Trump and Pence are making.
Everything she said is right. He has not done it to a black audience. He has to, and he is. On Saturday, he's going to be at a black church. And not only that, he's going to be taking questions. I'm sure there'll be cameras there.
He seems to me the type, though, if there's a problem, he says, how can we address it? How can we fix it?
Right.
He's trying.
To a degree, there's a little bit of panic that he's focused on a community and a group of people that always vote Democrat. And I think that people are quick to criticize what Mitt Romney, John McCain, and to a degree George W. Bush never even addressed.
Yeah.
All right, last night, VMA Awards. Did you watch this?
I watched some of it.
I watched the clip after.
Beyonce walked the red carpet with the mothers of 4